Disney Villains Hotel coming to Magic Kingdom, could it be? Hello everybody, welcome. Disney is investing over $60 billion into their parks and experiences over the next few years. And brand new information reveals that new Magic Kingdom hotels could be on the way. It's been over a year and a half since Disney Villains Land was first announced at the D23 Expo in Anaheim, California, back in August of 2024. Just 2 weeks later, on August 28th, I dropped a video about Disney Villains Land, going through all the permits and all the speculation on what was going to be going into this new area of Magic Kingdom, including the South Florida Water Management District permits regarding a massive impact study for Magic Kingdom and their planned expansions. This impact study included the existing areas of Magic Kingdom, the new Cars area, Disney's new Villains Land, and a massive area beyond Thunder Mountain, totaling in excess of 700 acres. That is a massive amount of space. And it was in this same video where I first talked about the concepts around Villains Land, including a Villains Land Phase 1, a Villains Land Phase 2, and a Disney Villains Hotel, as well as extended bonus, a Fantasyland Hotel. And this was based on information from what I saw in the permits and the impact study and internal rumors that have been swirling at Disney. Now, there were a lot of people that were on board with my concept, people super excited and hoping that this was what Disney was going to bring to the table, that this looked like Disney at its finest. However, there were some naysayers in the comments, some people saying, that's never gonna happen. You don't know what you're talking about. However, now here we are a year and a half later, and we have new information that reveals that this could very well have been the plan all along. Let's quickly review the permits and the impact study so we get an idea of what we're talking about here. The blue lines on this map represent the total area of study for the South Florida Water Management District, the total impact study that they were looking at. And as I said, this is about 700 acres, which is huge in comparison. All of the area for Epic Universe that Universal just built, and all of the space for the hotels, the back of the house, and the parking structures, all of that area combined is about 700 acres. In addition, if you take all of Islands of Adventure, all of Universal Studios, City Walk, the parking garages, and all of their existing hotels over in that area, you're still at about 750 acres. If you look at all of the Disney parks, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, Blizzard Beach, Typhoon Lagoon, and Disney Springs, that totals over 1,000 acres. So this is a massive footprint, 700 acres. Now, in this impact study, there is an area in red that I've marked here, and this is a smaller subsection of that impact study, but still a very sizable footprint. And this is what was referred to as the Storm Water Master Plan. The details around this red section state that the application requests approval for the Master Concept Plan and authorization to construct the first phase of the proposed Master Concept Plan, as described previously, and related improvements within the basin. Now, we also have orange lines in here, which is basically the limits of construction for things that they are planning immediately. And the yellow area was the gravel laydown yard where they're gonna be dumping excavated land, using it for construction purposes. Now, I'm gonna zoom in here and get a little bit more detail. Once again, you can see the red area. This is the proposed master plan concept. We've got the limit of construction in the orange lines here. Now, this blue area specifically was for the Cars area expansion, which is replacing Rivers of America. And then we have the purple area, which was generally believed to be where the villain space would be. This is where you can see the proposed Phase 1 for Villains Land, Phase 2, the Villains Hotel, and the Fantasyland or Fantasy Springs type hotel. And then I took this concept and sort of parceled out what I believed based on the concept art and the construction details and permits, where I thought things were going to be and what was going to be in those specific locations. So you can kind of see that here. You can kind of see where the dark ride, the roller coaster, the shops and entrances and things would be. This is what I mapped out about a year and a half ago. Now, since then, we've gotten much more clarity around what is going to be going in for Disney Villains Land Phase 1. In new documents and filings for the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, we have additional details on the potential placements for the structures, as well as details on the water and wastewater lines. And as you can see, when I overlay this, it pretty much matches up with what I was speculating a year and a half ago. Very similar in layout and structure, and does ladder up very well with the concept art. In fact, if we overlay these new filings and these new structures onto the concept art, you can kind of see how the layout works and why it makes sense. If you're interested in more details about each one of these structures, I've done other videos, I'll link to them below, but I go through all the details on the sizes of these structures and what is going to be going into each one of them. But now I want to move into the next piece, which is the new information that we just got. Gabrielle Rousson with Florida Politics just shared out a discovery on their website talking a little bit about some of the information that they've received from a court deposition that took place back in 2024. The early part of the year 2024 in February, several months before the D23 Expo. This is when Disney and the Central Tourist Oversight District were embroiled and embattled in this legal affair. If you remember, this was back when Ron DeSantis was getting upset about how Disney was doing things, and there was this big struggle that was going on. When Governor Ron DeSantis got involved, and there was a lot of problems with basically Disney's ability to control and oversee their own park developments without having to sort of answer to an authority or government outside of Disney. During this deposition, Imagineer Todd Rimmer talked a little bit about some of the future plans that they had for Walt Disney World, and specifically Magic Kingdom. And this deposition seemed to show that Disney World was actively trying to compete with Epic Universe and their brand new Helios Grand Hotel that was connected directly to Epic Universe and had spectacular views of the park. Currently, Walt Disney World has several hotels that are connected to the monorail loop and through the waterways. You think of things like the Contemporary, Grand Floridian, and Polynesian, as well as others like the Wilderness Lodge and Fort Wilderness that are very close in proximity, but they don't have direct connected access to Magic Kingdom. In this 2024 deposition under oath, Rimmer reportedly described the Magic Kingdom expansion as still under development, and that it included new attractions, redevelopment of existing attractions, and potentially new hotels. Now, lawyer Nicole Moss replied, "And you referring to hotels, how many hotels are we talking?" Rimmer said 1 or 2 hotel locations. Moss asks, would these be new hotels or development of existing hotels? Rimmer says these will be new hotels. Moss asks, where would they be located? And at this point, a Disney lawyer objects to this line of questioning, but after a pause, Rimmer decides to ultimately answer the question and states, generally, it's in the same area we are expanding. There are no specific locations decided yet. This is the mic drop moment. Generally, it's within the same area that we're expanding. Where are they expanding at Magic Kingdom? They are expanding Cars and Disney Villains Beyond Thunder Mountain. That means that these hotels that they were looking at, that they were thinking about adding to Walt Disney World, these are not hotels that are on the monorail loop. These are not hotels that are over by Fort Wilderness. These are hotels that were going to be specifically earmarked and attached to the areas they're expanding in Magic Kingdom, which is Cars and Disney Villains Land, which means they were clearly thinking about building a hotel attached to Villains Land and potentially somewhere next door like the Fantasyland area, and clearly a Disney Villains hotel would have been on that list. Absolutely. Why would you build a generic hotel that has no theming attached to Disney Villains Land? You wouldn't do that. After all, we have examples of where Disney has successfully done hotels attached to their parks in the past. You of course have the Fantasy Springs Hotel in the Tokyo Disney Sea location. You also have the hotels that are attached to the Disneyland and DCA properties over there in California. They're beautiful, they work well, they're amazing. And with Helios Grand just opening it over at Epic Universe now, remember, this was in February of 2024, before Epic Universe had opened. And this is before the D23 Expo announcement in August of 2024 that Villains Land was even taking place. So all of this is making total sense and adding up. They were absolutely thinking a Disney Villains hotel attached to Villains Land. They're looking to compete with Epic Universe. They know they need some more. They know that they need to expand because they hadn't been doing a whole lot because of this whole debacle with the the Florida government, the oversight tourism district, and all that stuff. They were almost unable to really do anything big, and so it really slowed things down. And they're looking to come out of the gate swinging. Disney Villains Hotel, 100% on that list. Potentially a Fantasyland, Fantasy Springs type hotel. Disney was reached out to for comment regarding this information that was revealed in the deposition. Disney has now come back and essentially said there are no new plans right now to build a hotel as part of the Magic Kingdom expansion, which ultimately seems like it just puts this whole thing to bed. And they're not going to do it. So they were thinking about doing it, they were investigating it, and then have now since decided they're not going to do it. But that's not entirely true, because this doesn't mean that they won't add them. It just means that they aren't actively planning to add those hotels yet. So that $60 billion is for all the things that they have planned right now and is scheduled to end in 2033. Right now, Disney Villains Land Phase 1 is expected to complete sometime around 2030 to 2031. So now for some good news, it means this definitely could still be on the table for a Villains Land Phase 2, or even just a Phase 2 expansion for the Magic Kingdom, where they could very well be thinking we're going to add some sort of hotel like Disney Villains and maybe a Fantasyland type hotel. It makes total sense. They could easily figure out a way to connect the Villains Land to Fantasyland. You have two sides of the same coin. You've got villains, you've got heroes, you have a villains hotel, and you have a heroes hotel, a Fantasyland-like hotel where you have all of the heroes of the stories. Yes, there's a Utilidors issue over there. Yes, they'd have to move things, but they could definitely figure it out and bring a second hotel over into that space that overlooks the Magic Kingdom and overlooks Cinderella Castle. So based on all this information coming out in the deposition, based on all the things I've been talking about, indeed, once again, it seems like I was actually very correct. They were exploring, at the time I did that video, they had recently been exploring building hotels back there and using that space. Let's again look at that giant and massive amount of space. Why do they need to do an impact study on that level for that much space? Yes, 100%. An impact study is looking at ecological issues. It's looking at when they move water, like get rid of rivers of America, how is it going to detrimentally impact other areas where they have swampland and forests and all that, and is it going to upset the ecosystem? So it does need to be an expansive impact study. However, does it need to be on the scale at which they looked at if what they were planning was just the Cars area and Villains Land, because those aren't super big as they sit right now. But if you're thinking a potential Phase 2 and potential additional hotels back there, you would definitely need to expand that impact study into what I see in that permit today. So Disney seems like they are looking to get rid of that terrible failure of the Disney Star Wars Hotel. Definitely looking to compete with Epic Universe and the Helios Grand. Would love to figure out a way to bring a hotel into Magic Kingdom. That thing would sell out on the daily. So we very well could be getting a Disney Villains Hotel and or a Fantasyland type hotel within the next 10 years in Magic Kingdom. So that's what I wanted to bring to you today, Disney Villains Hotel. I mean, that's just crazy to me. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Are you on the same page? Have you heard anything contrary? I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. Would you be excited about a Disney Villains or Fantasyland type hotel for the heroes? Do you think they should do that? Do you think it would cause too many problems? Again, I think that's an ideal space to put it back there by Villains. You got easy access on those roadways back there. It's not going to cause traffic issues. I think it would be a huge, smart move back if they built something back there. But again, it looks like it's going to be a Phase 2. It's not going to be Phase 1, but I don't know. I'm excited about it. Love to hear what you think down in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this content. Until I see you next time, Noble way is the easy way. Bye-bye, everybody.